Welcome back to Day 5 of our Express.js course. Today, we're taking a massive leap in fundamentally transforming your backend knowledge with an explainer on structuring applications for true enterprise scale using the layered architecture blueprint. Honestly, if you've ever felt a cold sweat breaking out while staring at a massive, tangled code base, you are in exactly the right place.
All right, let's kick off this explainer by acknowledging what I like to call the trap of simplicity. You know, Express is universally loved, right? It's minimal, it's unopinionated, and it basically just gets out of your way. But as this quote from the Thirsty Sprout CTO guide points out, that total freedom can very quickly snowball into an unmaintainable mess. Since there's no built-in framework forcing your hand, your team has to be the one bringing the discipline.
And this brilliantly illustrates the exact problem we're solving today. Just take a look at the classic bloated route handler on the left. It's a single file where your URL routing, HTTP header parsing, complex business rules, and raw SQL queries are all just mashed together. Now compare that to the beautiful, clean separation of concerns on the right, where every single specific task lives in its own distinct layer. It's night and day.
So here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with the Express scale problem, walk through the layered blueprint, dive into routes and controllers, explore the services and repositories layers, and finally, look at how all of this is built to scale.
Starting with Section 1, the Express scale problem, or as we mentioned, the trap of simplicity.
Let's talk about the very real pain points of trying to scale an unstructured code base. When you mix URL routing, HTTP parsing, business rules, and SQL into a single file, you're essentially creating a massive bottleneck. Imagine trying to test a specific discount rule. To do that, you'd literally have to spin up a mock Express server, fake an HTTP request, and mock a database connection. It's incredibly slow. This mix of concerns creates crushing technical debt that blocks new developers from onboarding efficiently, and it totally prevents horizontal scaling. Moving into Section 2, the layered architecture blueprint. Let's deconstruct the request.
I want you to think of this architectural flow exactly like a high-end restaurant. It's the perfect analogy. The request comes in through the router, which acts as the host at the front door. Then the controller is the waiter who takes and parses your order. After that, the service is the chef in the kitchen cooking up the actual business logic, and finally, the repository represents the pantry workers, running back to fetch the raw ingredients from the database.
What's really fascinating here is how clearly it defines our strict boundaries. This is the absolute secret to scaling Express. Every single layer has one and only one specific job to do. I mean, if your routing layer is suddenly talking directly to your database, you've completely broken the architecture. By enforcing these boundaries, you make your app predictable, testable, and highly modular.
Let's jump to Section 3, Routes and Controllers. This is the front door of our application.
First up, the route layer. It's incredibly thin. Remember our restaurant analogy? The route is just your host. It doesn't take your order, and it for sure doesn't cook your food. It simply looks at your URL, like say a post request to /API/users, and directs you to the correct table, which is our corresponding controller. And the controller is your waiter. Its entire existence revolves around HTTP. It reaches into the request body, the parameters, or the headers to extract the necessary data. It then hands that clean data off to the next layer. And once the heavy lifting is done, the controller takes the result and serves the final JSON response, along with the right HTTP status code right back to the client. Okay, I really want to emphasize this golden rule loudly. Your HTTP layer must remain thin and completely ignorant of how the actual business rules operate. If you're calculating taxes, generating random passwords, or writing SQL queries inside your controller, you are setting a massive trap for your future self. And trust me, future you will not be happy about it.
On to Section 4, Services. This is where your core business logic lives.
Once the controller successfully parses the HTTP request, it passes that clean data down to the beating heart of our app, the service layer. The service is the chef in the kitchen. It has no idea what an HTTP status code is, and it frankly doesn't care if the request came from a web browser, a mobile app, or an internal microservice. It only focuses on executing the core business recipe. Things like calculating a user's discount, validating a subscription renewal, or orchestrating a complex checkout process. And because your services are completely decoupled from Express.js, the benefits are just massive. You can reuse the exact same business logic function for a standard REST API call, a GraphQL mutation, or even a decoupled background worker pulling tasks from a Redis queue. It's brilliant. You write the logic once, and you can trigger it from absolutely anywhere.
Next is Section 5, Repositories. Time for our database operations.
But to cook the recipe, the chef needs raw ingredients. That brings us to our repositories, which are our pantry workers. They handle all the dirty work of communicating with your database. Whether you're using raw SQL queries, Prisma, or Drizzle, all of that logic is contained right here. The repository fetches data from Postgres or MongoDB and returns clean, standardized JavaScript objects back up to the service layer.
By abstracting your data access into these repositories, your service layer remains entirely database agnostic. To put that into perspective, if your company decides to migrate from MongoDB to Postgres a couple of years down the line, you only have to rewrite your repository layer. You wouldn't have to touch a single line of your core business logic or your API routes. It is a game changer.
Finally, Section 6, Built to Scale and Test. This is the ultimate payoff. Let's look at why all this architectural strictness is completely worth the initial setup effort. Because your business logic lives in isolated services, your unit tests, using tools like Vitest or Jest, become lightning fast. You can test your app's core rules just by passing plain JavaScript objects into a function and checking the output. There's literally zero need to spin up an Express server or write complex mocks for HTTP requests. Your testing process becomes an absolute breeze.
Plus, this decoupled structure naturally forces a stateless application design, and that is absolutely crucial because it allows you to safely and easily scale horizontally across multiple servers. You can use Redis for shared session management across load balancers, implement PG Bouncer for database connection pooling, and easily offload heavy CPU tasks into background workers, all without ever bottlenecking your main Node.js event loop.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want you to look at your current code base and ask yourself a hard question. Your app handles 100 users today, but is its architecture ready for 1 million users tomorrow? If your business logic is tangled up in your routes, the answer is probably no. Consider implementing these 4 layers, routes, controllers, services, and repositories today to ensure your application is built to scale smoothly into the future. Thanks for joining me for Day 5, and happy coding.